Hello, ladies and gentlemen. I can see we already have a number of people with us. Great. We're sharp on time. Hi, my name is Tom, and today I will have a pleasure to be the moderator during our webinar for L'Oréal Brandstorm 2025. And today we prepared for you some inspirations, insights, information about L'Oréal Brandstorm as a project itself, but also some tips and tricks and insights how you can work with your project, your solution to win Brandstorm, right? And to get the best prizes. So a little bit about that agenda for today. So what you can expect. We'll start with sharing a few words about Brandstorm itself. So what is it, for whom it is, and kind of what you can expect. And then I will ask my colleagues to share with you some tips and tricks, some info and insights that you can use to prepare your project, to get an idea, an innovative one that you can use, that you can present, that you can develop and present during the Brandstorm project. And last but not least, we're going to have a Q&A. So you're also going to have an opportunity to sit down with us, ask some questions, get some direct answers concerning any doubts you may have either about Brandstorm itself or ideas that you want to join Brandstorm with. So my name is Tom, and on a regular basis I work as an innovation expert one. And today with me, I have my colleagues from L'Oréal. I have Dominika, who is a brand manager for Garnier and Mixa. And I have Jan. Dominika, Jan, could you please share a few words about yourself?
Hi, so I hope that you can hear me. So my name is Dominika, and I'm super excited to be here today with you. I'm responsible for e-commerce for Garnier and Mixa brands, but my L'Oréal journey started 5 years ago with Brandstorm. So who knows, maybe you are also future L'Oréal employees. We'll see, and I have my fingers crossed for all of you.
Yeah, how about you?
Yes, hi, hello. Super good to see you all here. So I've been working in L'Oréal for not that long, but I've been in a couple of innovative projects. So right now I'm working as e-commerce activation manager. I'm mainly working on marketplaces, mainly on Allegro. But at the same time, I work as project leader on one of the Innovation Squad initiatives, where we transform the way we interact with data. So I just want to show you how I personally tackle innovative projects and how to construct them so that they are basically successful. So I keep my fingers crossed for you.
Great. So as you can see here, we have two very good experts, Dominika, who has an experience with working with particular brands, Jan, who's also shared, and Dominika is going to share her story when it comes to an innovative project. Jan is going to give you a bit broader perspective, what to take into consideration, what to remember when you are thinking about your own project. But before we go to that, I have a question for you. Let's call it a small quiz. Because we want to know where are you, right? So I'm curious, we are curious, where are you with Brandstorm application? So A, you already have a team and you are registered for L'Oréal Brandstorm 2025. B, you don't have a team, but you're registered on the webpage. C, you're not still registered for L'Oréal Brandstorm. So hit that numbers, hit that letters on your keyboard and on our chat, right? So tell us where are you so we can know who is today with us. We're going to know then how to kind of, position the insight that you're going to have. Good. Okay, so I can see we have already a number of people who are registered. A few people already with the team. Great.
Yeah, so maybe I have a follow-up question, a quick one, because I see a lot of people who are already registered now. So do you have any questions? You don't have to disclose them. Just let us know if you already have your ideas ready that you're going to work on.
Yeah. So you can use the chat and give Jan some, allow him for some curiosity.
Yes,
So
yes.
you can already share some insights and ideas you have.
Yeah, true.
And have in mind that this is also the space for you, right? So if you're already registered, if you already have a team, if you're already thinking on something, then feel free to hit that keyboard, make it hot, and ask any questions that you may have. Okay, but I can see we have teams already, very good. We have people who are probably looking for teams, maybe. I would say this is going to be the B answer, and people who are still considering registration. Okay, good, very good. So we'll know where we are. So let me go to just a few words about Brandstorm. So if you want to gain some experience, and especially when you think about innovation design, how to work with new topics, new ideas, how to work with innovation in the beauty industry and in general in a big organization, right? How to work with these things, and if you like teamwork, if you feel that teamwork is the space for you and you're between 18 to 30 years old, then the L'Oréal Brandstorm is for you, right? Guaranteed a lot of experience, insights, and fun stuff along the way. And concerning in general what Brandstorm is, so kind of, to give you a broader perspective, it's a innovation competition, and it's for teams. So if you already are registered, then you probably know it. If you're registered but you're still looking for a team, then have in mind that you need to have a team of 3, right? These are the teams you want to invite to Brandstorm, and you will have an opportunity also to work with L'Oréal mentors, right? So the finalists in a given region, for our case, Poland and Baltics Hub, you will also have an opportunity to work with mentors from L'Oréal to make your pitch as good as possible for global competition. So what you should take into consideration when you think about getting to the finals, right? How to work with innovative ideas. Jan, could you please give us some insights into your experiences with design thinking?
Yes, sure, absolutely. I'll deeper a little bit into this topic in a second. However, you just have to remember that the whole process that we're going to be showing you today are all about one thing, and it is understanding your target customer. So the empathize phase, defining, ideation, prototyping, and testing is all about grasping the idea of what your target consumer actually wants at the end of the day. So let's just quickly jump into the next slide, and I want to show you why traditional product management methods and methodologies often fall short for innovative projects. So there are mainly 3 reasons for this. First things first, traditional project management methods are unsuitable for change. There are too many unknowns in an innovative project. You must experiment and test hypotheses. This is a very, very important thing because you just cannot come up with an idea and just assume it's good, especially in an innovative product. You have to test your hypothesis. You have to see what's good, what's wrong, what's working, what's not, and then change your decisions, change pivots, and basically go into the right direction. Second thing is inflexible planning. Innovative projects will never and never should be a straightforward A to B process. You need space for pivoting, as I said. This is a very important thing, and you have to keep that in mind, that when you design your process of creating of making your idea come into life, you have to remember that it's not it cannot be done like it's not a straight process. It's not like everything happen one thing after another. It's you have to adjust every step in order to at the end of the day to understand the target consumer. And the third reason are way too long feedback loops. To adapt effectively in innovative projects, you have to adjust to new information quickly and avoid sunk costs. And I used the word costs here because this is mainly how it's been described today, but remember that your cost, your resource that you have right now is time, and it will be limited. So you will have the deadline for Brandstorm idea to be uploaded, and you have to remember that you will have to work quickly and effectively in order to come up with an idea that will actually make the difference. Yep, so let me quickly jump into a theoretical slide in which I'll show you the frame that I personally use to conduct innovative projects. It might be a little bit complicated and overwhelming, but don't worry, I will explain it and I will simplify it as much as I can. So the way we do it, the way I do it and we do it at L'Oréal, is we start with a vision and hypothesis. It's called, in L'Oréal, it's called an ideation process. It's on the left-hand side of the slide. And in this step, it's extremely important to understand your core problem and the target market, your customers that are in the Brandstorm brief. And as you perfectly know, those are men. And how do you do it? Basically, just user research. So interviews, focus groups, surveys. Remember that this is a very important step at which you have to really understand what the target consumer wants, what they are looking for, how they operate before you jump into the hypothesis in which you're going to be testing in the second stage. As you can see, in the second stage, which is called, basically it's a lean startup frame. If you read Eric Rice's Lean Startup, you will know a little bit more into detail, but basically, what's important in this case is to remember that in L'Oréal, we call it incubation experimentation phase. At this stage, you just test and gather data. This is extremely important. So remember about small-scale user testing, online surveys, A/B testing. At this stage, you basically just collect and analyze the data. Then we move to the learn phase, and this is the critical point in every innovative project, because you have a decision to make, and you have four alternatives. You can either iterate, you can abandon, scale, and this is extremely important because at this stage you assess, basing on the data you gathered from the people, after you've already, of course, built your project, your idea, into something a little bit more tangible. You decide if you want to iterate, and if you iterate, you just go back to the build phase, because this means that your hypothesis was more or less correct. However, you just have to adjust the product in a way. You can pivot, and by pivoting, I mean your hypothesis were more or less wrong, right? But it's more wrong rather than less. And in this case, you simply adjust the hypothesis before going into the building stage. Or you can abandon if the hypothesis was totally wrong, or you can scale. And at L'Oréal, we call this stage acceleration. And this is the stage you're going to spend a lot of time on. And remember that you have to be flexible and adapt during the acceleration phase, because it's not the end of your work. It's maybe it's not just the beginning. However, it's the critical phase at which you start to use much more resources on one single idea than you did previously. So it's important to, when you go to the acceleration phase, to be aware that it's a phase of commitment to a specific idea. And remember, it's important to know pivot is a step, it's not a failure. So as I said previously, when you come up with an idea or a hypothesis, it doesn't have to be the ultimate idea, the ultimate solution. It has to be tested before it is scaled. Yes, let's jump to the next slide. And as I said, I like simplification, so I wanted to simplify the previous slide as much as I can. And long story short, what you need is a feedback loop in which you're gonna build a product or a solution, measure the data from the product solution on the target consumer, on the target group, men in your case, learn, analyze, and decide to pivot or to continue. And then you repeat the cycle. So this is how it works in the best case scenario, where you test your hypothesis and adjust it to their target customer all the time in order to have the best possible solution available. Let's quickly jump to the next one. Keep in mind and make it count. So three tips from my side. First thing, time boxing. Remember that the methodology I showed you, which is the lean startup methodology, is relatively time consuming, but very effective. So keep track of the time. Remember to assign tasks well in advance, and make sure that you have enough time to go through the whole loop and make your idea actually happen. The second thing, collaboration. It might sound trivial, but remember, business is not a single player game. Embrace teamwork, embrace different perspectives, and remember to divide the work between you evenly so that nothing that you do overlaps with each other. Do as much as you can, do as much as is possible in the time frame we give you, so that you're 100% sure that your idea is the best of the best. And the last thing, when it comes to my tips, Brandstorm resources. Again, might sound trivial, but remember there are a lot of resources available online that you can search and use some of the cases that have already been done in Brandstorm in the previous years. Yes, and last but definitely not least, so as I said, I really like simplification. If I were to choose just one thing I want you to remember from what I said for the past 10 minutes or so, remember about perfectly understanding your customer group. This is absolutely crucial because this is the element that's going to make your product stand out from the others. If you understand the best out of all the teams, you'll have the best project. And remember, trust the process. Failure is just another step. It's not the end of the world. Yeah, and now I'll just quickly pass my voice to Dominika, who will tell you a little bit more about how she used the processes we, together with Tomek, showed you a second ago in real life on Garnier. Thanks.
Yes, so as you know, I was a Brandstorm finalist, and for me, the biggest challenge while developing the Brandstorm idea was finding the right idea. So you're probably already reviewed countless of market analyses, trend reports, but how do you pinpoint the idea that will make your Brandstorm entry a winner? So I'd like to share with you an example of our innovative Garnier campaign that we had in 2021, where the inspiration came from the unexpected source. So I was responsible for the campaign for our best-selling masks, hairfoot masks. You're probably aware of this product. However, the objective of this campaign was to increase the product awareness. We have a specific target audience for Garnier, so we knew that the consumer who are talking to, those are women overall. I also knew that consumers search for products that to meet their hair needs. However, they had some difficulties distinguishing the variants or hair food because we have many of them. And therefore, our initial plan was to engage young creators on TikTok and give them a quiz effect that will describe each of the product. And you can see it here. So after the videos were published, the comment section exploded. Consumers wanted to take this quiz themselves, and actually that's when the spark of this innovative campaign was born. We had an insight, but what do you think? What do you need? Do you want to do next? So what questions should we ask ourselves when we have this insight? And right now I need you, so please vote in the comment section, A, B, or C, what we need to do to validate this insight, whether it's a good idea or not. Don't be shy. I can't see any A, B, or C's, or all of them, or none of them.
You can have an educated guess. So feel free to shoot.
Okay, so if you don't want to guess, we have one C. Great. So I'll just say that to justify your idea, you absolutely must put yourself in consumers' shoes. So actually, we asked ourselves all of the questions to make sure that we understand the consumer, their needs, and that you should do the same actually for your Brandstorm case. So just like as Yannick mentioned, you have to really know your target group, and going to the target group, that is really crucial to understand them. So you saw on the slide that I said young women, but it's not enough. A 40-year-old mom of two has different needs and communication preferences than social media savvy girl in her 20s. So remember to include demographics and some behavioral information to be even more precise and to understand to whom you are talking to. So okay, you know what you want to achieve, and you also know who you're targeting. So right now is that moment for honest self-assessment. So just justify your choices. So is it something new? Is it something extraordinary? Will it bring any added value for the consumer? So in my case, in this case of hair foot masks, no other beauty brands have ever created such a filter before. So I was almost sure that it will be both engaging and educating, providing a significant value for the consumers. However, you might be not so sure. And moreover, by the slogans and visuals of Brandstorm, you might be somehow affected with like some direction. But what I would suggest is to go out of the box, to think about some ideas that are not so straightforward, and just to propose something truly extraordinary, because there are many of you for this edition, and that is something, and you have to do something to stand out, to make sure that the jury will see the biggest potential in your project. Okay, and now once we have the idea, it's time for reality check. So I would say that this part is the most difficult. So I was confident that we would succeed because we were responding directly to consumer demand. So they wanted the quiz, so they will get it. But put yourself in the jury's shoes. So why might your idea fail, and think how you can refine it to win this concept. And what also Yannick said, do you think that you should rework it, or you should give up this idea and find something else? So focus on it, not to waste your time and your resources that are really needed. And when I say about resources, that is also a super important thing when thinking about innovative project. So that is something I would say like putting theory to practice, like moving it from theory to practice. So I faced significant hurdles navigating into navigating the legal procedures between two big organizations. This filter was created on TikTok, and so TikTok had their regulations, and on the other hand, our L'Oreal procedures were also complicated. So I spent a lot of time just on the legal things, which might be surprising for many of you. So just check your resources to avoid any problems that might occur during putting your theoretical idea into practice. And finally, testing. So I've invested a lot of time to develop the filter, and I was emotionally attached to everything that was there. However, sometimes it is worth to ask someone not related to it to give some constructive feedback, because for you it might be understandable, but for others not really. So my suggestion is to ask your male friends, or I know your colleagues maybe, for their opinion, because maybe there will be some insight that will be worth developing in the future. Okay, so as you can see, the campaign was created thanks to consumer insights, and that is a powerful tool. So if you don't have any idea right now, I would recommend to look for some analysis, for some dashboards, to look through the internet to get inspired and to find this winning idea for Brandstorm this year. And when I say that this campaign was a success, I'm not bragging when I say it, because actually this campaign won honorable mention in the well-known industrial contest that is Mix Awards. And I'm proud of it. I'm proud of making this happen, because it was the second time L'Oreal did something like that. And actually, that would be it from my side. So I wish you luck when thinking about your idea and when creating your presentations. I know it might be overwhelming sometimes, but really believe me, it's worth it. So do you have any questions? Oh, I forgot to play the video with the quiz with the final version, so you can see it here. Maybe you have tried it, maybe you used this TikTok filter. So if so, I would be happy to read your comments in the comments section. But if not, maybe you have any other questions connected to Brandstorm for me, for Janek, for Tomek.
Yes, good. So allow me, I will buy you some time so you can type your questions on the chat. And here I would like to gather the top 3 key messages we want you to remember when you think about Brandstorm and your application, your idea. And in general, when you're going to work in the future with new topics, innovations, new ideas, what is important to have in mind each and every time. And this is something that we have in mind each and every time when we approach some kind of innovative topic or a solution. First, consumer insights, right? So be sure to use the insight to generate ideas. Be sure to go through some data, through some information, through trends, reports that can give you a very good understanding of who is your target group, or who is the consumer for whom you are designing a solution. And if you already have some insight, that is good. What can be better? Have more. And for this, you can watch the recording from our first webinar, because we had a week ago Apostolos from Consumers Product Division to share a ton of insights about men beauty. That is the focus for Brandstorm 2025. So this is a really, really good idea to have an insight and see what is already there, because we shared a lot of information with you. So this is number 1, gather consumer insights, right? Then 2, be sure to also, when you're applying to Brandstorm, show how you kind of build your idea around the consumer insight, right? So when it comes to jury, when it comes to people who are assessing your concept, will be assessing your concepts, have in mind that make it easier for them to have this link aha moment. So this is the idea, and they decided to do this idea because consumers want what, right? So be sure to to vividly show that you developed a concept around a particular consumer insight, right? So this is number 2. And number 3, I would strongly recommend you validate your ideas, right? With your colleagues, with your friends, with people, talk with them, share your concept, see what's going to be their first reaction, right? See and hear their feedback. There is going to be a lot of insight also in this feedback, right? So there you can, even if the feedback is gonna be like, I don't get it, then this is a feedback for you that kind of, there is a work to be done around maybe clarifying a few things, right? So be sure to have consumer insights, be sure to build your ideas around consumer insights, and be sure to validate your ideas with consumers or with target group, right? Because this is something that is going to give you a really, really jump ahead when it comes to your innovative project.
I will jump in with one question from the chat while we are waiting for some others, because we also had some question about the fragrances, and that one team is thinking about the project with fragrance for the consumer product division, but it's not so sure about it, because for L'Oréal mostly fragrances mean a luxurious division. So maybe Dominika, Janek, you had some insights about that, and you can address the doubts about the project.
So maybe I'll start. So that is true that currently we are not, we don't have in our offer fragrances. However, you can see that there are more luxurious one in Sephora Douglas, but still you can buy some in Rossmann. So maybe there is the niche that we should attack for men. But I would suggest to check how whether the category is growing or maybe declining, because if there is a potential to, if the fragrances will become more important in the future, that will be worth investing. But what about the situation that we put a lot of money to create a product, to support it through media and with marketing, and then the category is dropping? Then from the business perspective, it might be not exactly the best solution. So that is the only insight, that the only recommendation that I can give you. So think not only if something is right now available, but also about the potential for it in the future.
Jan, anything you would like to add?
It's very valid what Dominika said. I don't think I have anything valuable to add. That's true. Fragrance, however, I can add just one thing. Fragrances definitely are on the rise. And it is important that we as group definitely see it as something that has great potential. But what I would suggest is, I do not know anything about your idea, but just a quick suggestion: if you want to think about a specific fragrance without anything around it, it might not be enough. Okay, just a quick suggestion, because if you look at the fragrances that we already have available, mainly at Giorgio Armani line, it's tens of the flavors, tens of the scents that are available right now on the market. So think about how it can be unique for the consumers to actually connect with the brands, maybe to somehow interact with the brands and be closer to the brands. So maybe this is the way to tackle this. It's not a wrong direction, definitely not. However, as I said previously, test it, ask people, ask questions, and maybe I'll add something to what Tomek said previously on the third point, because you have to remember that, it's pretty obvious, but innovative projects their inherent part is creativity. So be creative at every step of the process, and be creative, even at the data gathering process. It doesn't have to be, service. It doesn't have to be, some A/B testing. Sometimes you can, post on Facebook groups. This is something that I used in the past. You can post on, set an Instagram account and try to post some content related to your idea. There are a lot of ways to validate your idea and the direction you're heading to. Yeah.
That's actually true. The groups on Facebook, that is a great source of insights.
Okay, we have one question from Pamela. How much time we have to present our presentations at the local finals? Dominika, can you clarify?
I was already typing that, but I will answer here. So it's around 5 minutes for the presentation by the team, and then additionally around like 5 minutes for questions from the jury. So it's like 10 minutes total maximum for the team to be on stage to present and to answer the questions.
I remember that it was not so long, back 5 years ago. But from my perspective right now, I would say that you can sell this idea with 5 minutes. So just try to focus on the most important things that will stand out. So don't worry, it's not that scary as it seems.
Yes, it will
But
also
you have to be well prepared. And then you will manage to, within those 5 minutes, believe me.
That's for sure. All the teams need to be well prepared, and also, it can vary and it can be different depending on the final number of the teams. So last year we had 7 teams in our local finals, but we have no idea how much this time we would have. Maybe we'll have more because of the all great projects we will get for the Brandstorm. So it may also be different, but it will be around 5 minutes, and also before presenting on the stage before the local finals, all the winning teams on the local finals level will have a chance to work with the mentors, so also to polish your presentation, to prepare a bit more for the question that that the jury might have, so for you to be well prepared for all of that.
Okay, good.
And just one thing to add, maybe this will be helpful for you, because I'm sure your ideas are going to be absolutely great, and I'm sure you want to squeeze into the presentations as much as you can about your idea. But remember that you have to prove it. So remember to include some proof of concept. Why do you think your idea is great? This is a very important step because the jury definitely is going to be looking and analyzing your idea through the lens of their own experiences. However, without a solid justification why your idea is good, will be the best things possible. It may be something, it may be an insight that you present on the slide. It may be some piece of data that you've collected during your research, but something that proves that your idea is great. Not only you cannot only show how your idea works and how it's going to look like, but why it's great. Remember, and it's this very famous film by, I think, Simon Sinek. He said, start with the why. And this is a very important thing because he's got a point here. Start with the why.
Yes, that's absolutely true. And I will build on that, what Jan just said, to answer another question. So what is the level of detail required in the free slides? Should it be more conceptual or include like market data, financial forecast, etc.? So for the free slides, you need to be very brief and you need to sell your project. So of course, we need to know why and we need to know the inside, but you also need to feel like, kind of a startup looking for for some finances from big corporations. So you need to sell us our project. So you don't want to overload the slides with like a lot of data, a lot of things for us to read, because the jury that will be assessing all the projects we will have, will choose the best one, the greatest potential for growth, the great potential then to win the global finals. So you really need to be like brief on those free slides and show us the essence of your project. And then if you will get to the local finals, so if your project will be chosen, based on those free slides for the local finals, then on the stage you will have more space to show us more details and to show us, why more extensively and more market research and all the data that you collected, because for sure those will be also, questions from the jury. And to answer another question, do we have to create a new product or we can use already established product? It's an innovation competition, so you can either create a new product or you can build on something that's already existing, but still you need to create something innovative, something that's not there on the market. As here, we have the webinar about the innovation project, how to come up with an idea. Dominika also already explained, about the idea and where to get it from. So also you need to think about some new features that might not be yet there in the product that's already there on the market, but to think about something new that it's not existing already. So remember, it's an innovative competition, and we are looking for innovations.
I'll add a small thing here. Because just to debunk one common misconception, when we say product, we do not necessarily mean a physical product. Sometimes it can be a piece of software, it can be, I don't know, an idea for something less tangible than a physical product. So please remember about this.
Yes, exactly. And also it doesn't necessarily need to be a beauty product. So a cosmetic, it can also be some kind of a beauty device, right? So you can also think about some products that are helping when it comes to applying some products or doing some other, some other things related to beauty technology. Do we have someone raising hand or I?
No, I think it was a like.
Oh, okay. So it was.
But if
liking our
we misunderstood, feel free to jump into the conversation. One more tip I would give you also concerning the detail of data. When it comes to the 3 slides, you can show a hint that you've actually done the research. So you don't have to show off, all the tables, but show, for example, we've researched our concept with 100 consumers. Okay, this is a particular data, right? That showcase, okay, you've done something, right? Or if you're referencing to something, you can show at the bottom the source. That can be a particular report or some kind of insight, right? And this is also a sign for the jury that this is not, you believing that this is something that is kind of, has a potential, but you actually done your homework. So you don't have to put a lot of information and a lot of detail on the slide, but you can put some hints to show the jury, we've done our homework and we have some insights to back up our concept.
And remember that it's L'Oreal contest and the sky is the limit. So you can, at first you might think that it's impossible to do something, and then you realize that it's actually happening. So sky is the limit.
To answer next question that appeared, PowerPoint slides or some other formats, I think you can for sure check it on the platform. I think at the end it's PDF, so you should upload it as a PDF. But for sure, once you will be uploading that to the system, then the system will inform you if there is, a need to change the format. But as far as I recall, it's a PDF.
Okay, so in the meantime, I can see you also asking some other questions. What you can see here on the slide is 2 more of this kind of meetings, right? So you can scan the QR codes and register for 2 more webinars we've planned for you. Each and every one will be packed with some key insights, inspirations, and ideas. What you can do, how can you make your Brandstorm application as best as possible, and how can you squeeze the most out of the concept that you're developing, right? So 6th of March, we're gonna tell you a little bit about the tech and the future of male beauty. And 12th of March is going to be your winning strategy, right? So we're going to also have some L'Oreal employees who participate in Brandstorm to share their experiences and give you some other tips and tricks. for the whole concept. And if you already have your idea and you're registered, then feel free to go and register, right? Be sure to have your account. So on the next slide, you're going to see another QR code where you have just direct to Brandstorm application, right? So have in mind that if you do not yet have a team, you can find the team after you registered, right? So this is also the place where you can look for teammates. And if you were at the beginning saying that, see that you're still not registered, then I think this is the best time to do it. Yeah.
Great, and I will also share a link to the register site for the webinars, because also there you can find all the recordings, so you can already see the last week webinars. This one will be uploaded as well, and all the next one will also appear there. And once you are registered on the Brandstorm platform, we are also sending you all the notifications about the webinars and the information, and you can also through the Brandstorm platform ask us a question and try to contact whenever you have any doubts or questions.
Sure, and just one last remark from me, because not all questions come up to your mind instantly. I'm sure you'll have a lot of them during the process. So if you've got any, and I'm talking for myself, you can ping me on LinkedIn or anywhere else. You can find me. Again, I'm talking for myself, so if Dominika or Tomek they also want to take part in this, no problem. We're always happy to help.
Yes, that's true. So don't hesitate to reach out through LinkedIn or any other sources. I don't know if you have our email addresses, but then emails are also fine.
I'm sharing the link to your LinkedIn accounts on the chat. So
Okay,
if anyone is interested, you can friend them. I don't know if that's the right word for LinkedIn, but you can add them to your network and try to reach out to our experts today.
Okay, good. So, ladies and gentlemen, if you don't have any more questions, I'm just double checking. Then it was a really, really great pleasure to share some insights with you. And fingers crossed for your applications. Be sure to join the 2 next webinars, because we're going to have some more inspirations for you that can, will help you to prepare the best presentations for your projects. And see you at the finals, right? First local, then party. So I think that you're going to have some really amazing ideas, and we cannot wait to see the details. So thank you again.
Thank you.
Thank you so much, all of you, and see you in Paris. Bye-bye.
Fingers crossed.